You are listening to the Two Nerds Arguing podcast. On today's episode, we will be discussing our opinions on what we would love to see in Destiny 2. Along the way, we'll be making fun of each other, as always. So as Detective Emilio famously once said in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective,
let's do it.
All right, thank you for tuning in today. We are going to be discussing, as usual, with my brother from another mother, Joel Hendricks. Joel, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Joel. You can follow me on Twitter at Hendricks Joel Hendricks 2828. Also, you can follow me on Twitch. So you'll follow me on Target Acquisition. Mainly there, I'll be streaming Destiny content, and you can watch me rage as I suck at this new version of Madden.
Yes, exactly. And I'll be, basically, you can follow me. I mean, I make witty remarks on our Twitter comments about a bunch of different stuff and make fun of people.
Like no man's lie.
No man's entertainment. Exactly. And political things about Donald Trump and just general.
Don't do that.
I say I do what I want. I do what I want. So today's episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing Destiny from two different people's point of view. Destiny 2, that is, what we'd like to see. And the thing that's unique about this is we both played the original game a substantial amount of time, but we are definitely at different levels. Myself, I am of the cloth that I played the game for a substantial amount of time, several hundred hours, then stopped playing. Then they came out with new updates, and I played it a couple more 100 hours, and then I stopped again. And then most recently, I started getting back into it as Rise of the Iron is coming out. So it never had enough to keep me going. There was always some things that, left me lacking. Great game, but there's some things left me lacking. Now, Joel, on the other hand, Joel, do you want to tell them about your exploits and
exploits? Like, I feel like when you say exploits, like, it's making me take advantage of the game or something.
No. Just like your accomplishments. I apologize. That's a better way.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started playing the game, I obviously didn't play it that much. But then, like, I found out that the game is obviously a grinding kind of game. So, I've been playing the game pretty much since launch. From there, I've been playing, The Dark Below, House of Wolves, Lighthouse visits, tons of raids, and most recently, I'm in a clan called Murderers and Acquisitions, and all of these guys are just as passionate about the game as I am. So it's a lot of fun.
So what we're gonna do is, because we come from two point of views, we're going to give not only our idea and try to sell the other one on it about how impressive they think it is, but then the other person is actually going to give, on a scale 1 to 10, how awesome of an idea they think that is. Okay.
I also have 1,700 hours into the game.
Yes. I thought you were at 2,000.
No, just 1,700. I'm working hard on it.
1,700 hours. They're giving you every reason to stop. You just
don't do that.
Yeah. Are they doing? You can't go to the Lighthouse anymore for the next one. Yeah.
You really can't.
Yeah. Joel's like.
I can help people.
I have 1,700 hours, and there's 4 weeks before an update comes out, and all he can do is look for Peter Dinklage wave files, and he's like, I'm in 300 hours.
No, but I can help other people go to the Lighthouse. That's really what my goal is right now.
So, as a person, once again, who's put 400 or 500 hours into it, and a person who's put 1,700 hours into it, is in that upper, what are you in the upper, like 2%?
Just 1%. 1%?
Mm-hmm. That's sick. That is cool. I mean, I'm impressed. So what would be the 3 or 4 things, before you start giving your ideas, what are the 3 or 4 things that you love most about this game?
So I've played, I don't know how many first-person shooter games you've played or anybody else has out there played, but I played like Call of Duty, Battlefield. I did play a couple games of like Battlefront. What I like most about Destiny, the reason why I continue playing the game, is because of the movement that's in it. So like the gun battles, hearing, their grenades, supers, things like that. That's one of the reasons why I continue playing the game, is because of the movement. The PvP aspect of the game is just, in my opinion, really second to none. Even though it still needs, some work on it, some tweaks here and there. Private matches being added to the game, coming up in a couple of weeks. That's going to add another huge element to the game, but just the whole movement of the game is really why I continue playing. It's just so much fun.
Control, the control, and how smoothly it runs.
Like when I get a headshot, sniper kill, I swear to God, like there's nothing more satisfying than getting that headshot on someone.
Yeah.
Even like when you're running like shotguns. I mean, I don't play with like the fusion rifle thing. But I mean, just the whole movement of the game, the way that the guns sound, stuff like that it's just so awesome.
I mean, the one thing I'll say for me, what made me play the game for 400 or 500 hours is, first off, I mean, I love the graphics. I mean, I think the graphics are amazing. I love the colorful world, and I just can't believe. I mean, it's almost shocking to me as a person who's got the platinum on multiple versions of Fallout, has a platinum on Skyrim, and some of these other games. That, let's be honest with you, there's a heck of a lot of bugs in these things. I mean, there is a lot of bugs. Mm-hmm. How solid of a system that they have put together where, pop-ups and, things glitching and just freezing up randomly. It just honestly doesn't really exist.
Yeah,
I mean, it's such, I just am so impressed with how solid that they have made of a system. And then also, the individualism that they made. I mean, I know that, people that gave up after 10 hours in Destiny 1, will say like, well, when you max out, all the armor looks the same. The amount of shaders and being able to infuse armor and create your own individual look is just awesome. I mean, for me, I love that stuff. I love. I love how the weapons sound different. How a fusion rifle sounds completely different than a hand cannon and a sniper rifle, and I that stuff is just awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, that part of it is fantastic, and I commend Bungie for an amazing product that they put out so far, and that's why the people are playing. That's why Joel is not the only person who's put over 1,000 hours into it. So
they have a very large, even though some people would say that the game is not successful or like it needs to be improved.
Trolls are always going to say stuff. I mean,
the game has probably the best community fan base.
There's a great community.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that before. But another one of my favorite things in the game, I don't know if you've ever done raids before, like in World of Warcraft or anything. I don't know if Diablo has them. There's another game that has them. I just can't think of it.
No, I know.
But the raids are a ton of fun. They're rage magnets at times if you don't have a good group, because we definitely struggled with the raids when they first came out with a couple of different people, like some of our friends, things like that. But the raids are really what makes the game very unique. So I'm very excited for the new one.
Awesome. So what we're gonna do, just to reiterate, is one of us is gonna give one of their ideas. And then the other one, they're going to sell that person on, this is what I think Bungie should do. The other person on a scale 1 to 10 after that is going to give on this why they think that's a great idea. Scale 1 to 10, where they think that. What, from the different point of view. Because obviously, I think some of our ideas will be the same, but we haven't looked at our information at all. But I do believe that different things, as we just stated, attract us to this game. Okay, I could not play this game for 1,700 hours like Joel has. I mean, there's just absolutely no way. I've played 5 other games since that time, and he just keeps grinding on Destiny. So it is obviously a different level of appeal for him. So Joel has graciously, God, I can't even pronounce the word to start off the day. It is early in the morning.
It is very early.
Yes, he has said that I could go first. But before I get started, I just want to say one other thing. This was an absolute disaster trying to get this thing recorded last week, and Joel and I, just from our pure enthusiasm for this topic, we refused to give up. But last week, we literally spent 2.5 hours with technical problems only to find out a $2.99, that's $2.99 cord that you can buy at Walmart had shorted out and was causing us all of our nightmares. So I just want to say kudos to my brother, who I love, that he stayed patiently and didn't punch a hole in my wall, because he was literally battling tooth pain on top of us just switching cords out for 2.5 hours, only to be like, dude, I don't know what's causing this.
Yeah.
I can't figure this out. So
we gotta hire like a IT guy or
when
something
we
like
when
that.
we
blow
become,
up.
Yes, exactly. One of two things. We either need to have a full-time IT member as part of our staff. So I'm gonna go first. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go through what I think is the first thing that they have to add to this one, and sell Joel on it, and then he'll give me his opinion. So first off, let's just start with the low-hanging fruit one. The Grimoire cards, okay, that they have in 1.0.
We're going to start already.
Yeah, we're going to start on this already. Okay, so the Grimoire cards, all I'm asking, I think they're an awesome idea. I would say they don't have to create something. Would I love in Destiny 2 if when you got a Grimoire card, it showed a little video story or something like that? Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be mind-blowing. But I would accept what they did in Witcher 3. I would accept that they literally just have a video picture, okay, that's maybe it's dark, and when you get the Grimoire card, it gets filled in with a color image of whatever that card is, and then it tells a little bio in the game, okay, in the game, so that you can learn the history. Because when you're bought into it, when you get that weapon and you know that weapon was was used in this famous battle and everything, it just makes it so much, you're so much more bought in to the mythology. Yeah. So I think the Grimoire cards are an awesome thing that they had in the last one, but it was an epic fail that it wasn't actually in the game. I mean, that was it. So I know I'm going to start off with the low-hanging fruit, nothing like shocking as far as that goes. So on the scale of 1 to 10, Joel, how much is that a must that they need to have in the next game?
It's like a 15. I mean,
the whole logging into your computer to read the story.
I don't want to log into ebook. That's just a failure on their part to add it to the game. I do think there's pictures on Twitter of like a beginning model of Destiny, and there was a tab on the right side that said Grimoire. So I do think it was added to some point in the game, and it was just taken out.
I'm not one of these people that has my computer next to my PS4, and nor should I have to have it next to my PS4. Or when I'm in a battle and I'm done and I'm at the lighthouse, do I want to pull up something on my Android phone and go to a website so that I can read something on my phone? Like, no.
Some people do that though.
Yes,
like
I understand.
Yeah,
they totally do that.
Yeah, one of my clanmates, his name is Terry, and he's like an expert at this. Yeah. So like I'll ask him like things like, what is Xur? Like, what is this guy? Like, who did he come from? And like he literally gave me like a 3-minute background check on Xur. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool that it's just like the community level of people that know a lot about the Grimoire cards are just so low. Like some of the guys at Planet Destiny, who I always watch listen to their podcast. I mean, those guys don't even know a lot of things about the Grimoire card. It's just not it's just not something I want to do. But if it was in the game, if it was in the game, I'd definitely do it.
Awesome. I would love in Destiny 1 year 1, the Devil You Know was the gun that I used a lot. The hand
cannons were awesome.
Yeah, and I would have loved to know some story about that. How did it get this badass name? Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm like, I would have loved that. Mm-hmm. That would have been cool. And I'm not saying there isn't some card out there that tells me, but I'm not logging into my computer to go look it up. I'm just not doing it.
All right, so whoever does the Grimoire cards, who has knowledge on that, just go ahead and look that up for Craig.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Post it on our Facebook chat.
What is the story behind this?
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. So, all right, Joel. So, what is your first idea of something that you would love for them, or they have to add to Destiny 2?
I don't necessarily know if they need to add it to Destiny 2, but I do think for Destiny 2 there needs to be something. It just can't be like the same model of game that we currently have. So for someone who struggled with raids for such a long time, like when Crota first came out and you had to post a freaking resume on Reddit and all kinds of other sites to get a group of people to help you with it and find a sword bearer, I do think they need to try something different for as far as like matchmaking for a raid. It doesn't have to be hard mode, because hard modes in the raids are just extremely difficult for an LFG group. So I think that needs to be left up to a group of clan members, stuff like that. But I do think they need to at least attempt a raid matchmaking for normal mode. You're missing out on the biggest things, the biggest in-game content. I know there's like strikes you can play. You can play Iron Banner because it's kind of mellow when it comes out once a month. But you're missing out on a huge experience by not playing the raids. So I do think they need to at least attempt a normal mode matchmaking to the game.
Absolutely. And to that point, I mean, I would say from your idea, because I have actually a different idea on this raid, so I'll go over that next about what I think. But I think, so I would say in the matchmaking thing, I would say it's like a 9. I mean, it's as close to a 10 out of 10 as possible, because I would almost even say it needs to go a step further, where if they, in their matchmaking, if this is your first raid you've ever done, that the system would matchmake you with someone who could actually help you get through it. Yeah. Like they automatically, like Joel, Joel's done this 35 times. So they say, oh, this is a noob. We put Joel with it, and then Joel gets rewards for helping someone get through it.
I mean, that's definitely a good. The problem with that is that there are people that aren't as nice as you and I.
It's true.
And then that will like rage quit on.
Once again, it's matchmaking. Exactly. So, okay. So my next idea, and this might be from a controversial standpoint of when it deals with raids, is I think that they should try creating raids that don't require 6 people. I mean, and that's what people, okay? Because here's the thing. Here's the honest truth. Just God's honest truth. There's not 6 people on planet Earth that I can stand to talk to for any length of time. So my biggest problem with the raids, and the reason I've struggled to complete the raids, is that there's always someone in my group who's either an alcoholic, a stoner, a racist, has a 4th grade education, barely speaks English, and I'm having to interact with them for multiple hours, which in any other walk of life I would never do. Okay, I would just be like, oh my God, you are so annoying, I'm going to punch you in the face, or just I need to walk away from you. In Destiny, it forces me to interact with these people. It forces me to, because you have to have 6 people. So I would love. I know people will say, well, Craig, if you're really good and you figure stuff out, you can beat it with, I beat it by myself.
Yeah, no.
When you start,
you can't do that.
When you start, you have to have 6 people. Okay. And I think the game would be way more appealing if they figured out, if they actually had, I'm not saying you can't have 6-person raid, but imagine if they had, this is a 3-person or 2-person, and you and your buddy could go on this epic conquest to do this raid. So that's my opinion.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I mean, I definitely don't agree. So they have things that three players can do. So you have
they don't have raids.
Yeah, but the raids, just like in Trials of Osiris, it's not meant for like the average player. Like it's really meant for like that hardcore group. So like I understand the frustration, because we've definitely been there. Like we've had some extremely bad groups. Like I wish I had I've known about Twitch before all of this. Like I could record when we first went through the Vault of Glass together, stuff like that. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But like, if you have a clan that you play with, just like mine, So when I first got into this clan, we did the King's Fall raid, and I swear to God, I've never completed a part in the raid so fast. I mainly stay out of them, but we completed this part in the raid so fast. So I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's just not, the in-game content for raids and Trials of Osiris, stuff like that, is not meant for the casual gamer, if that makes sense, or the casual player. It's really meant for that hardcore group. And Bungie's already said that they want you to go out and look for friends, which is why they have not made like the matchmaking of it. They want you to feel like that's part of the challenge. So question on this, and once again I'm getting the distinct feeling I'm going to get like a 1 out of 10 on this one, because Joel doesn't want it. So that's fine. But don't you think that when you can use
that armor and weapons in other parts of the game, that if you don't find those people and you don't complete that, you're at a disadvantage.
What do you say? If you don't do them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay. That's for like, what you're talking about is for like Vanilla Destiny, where if you did not do the raids, you were not going to be competitive in anything else because you weren't going to have that gear and stuff like that. Now in Taken King, you don't need to do the raid to reach that light level. You don't need to do trial. There's tons of other things to reach end game content. Like freaking Nightfalls will drop 335 gear at this point. So I understand what you're saying. Like if you needed it, but now they're trying to appeal to the casual player and the guy who, gets off from work, maybe, only has 1 day a week off, and he wants to spend an hour and a half playing Destiny, and he wants to get his light level up to play with his buddies. Well, you can definitely do that now. There's tons of other things that you can do. I mean, exotic engrams will drop at high light level now. So, I think mainly what you're talking about is like for the beginning of the game, which obviously is involved.
So to my point, is it a 1?
Is it a 1? I mean, I guess I would like to hear the idea of the raid, because if we went in with 3 people and it was like a 4-hour raid, oh my God, it would be so bad. So I would say it's like a 3. I'm willing to listen to more. I'm willing to listen to more.
It's possible.
It's possible.
You just can't view it, can't picture it.
Yeah, I definitely just can't picture it happening.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead, Joel. You're next, brother.
Okay. So one of the biggest things that they've added in the Taken King, the biggest thing that they've added is like more quest lines. In the beginning in like Vanilla Destiny, they had exotic bounties. If you turned in so many bounties, you get like this exotic bounty to drop. Something that I think they need to add more going forward, which I know they will, is more quest lines. So one of the things that I remember talking to some of my buddies about was like, wouldn't it be cool if they had a quest for you to get like the Gjallarhorn, and like you had to go back to the Twilight Gap and fight with so and so and get the parts to make the Gjallarhorn and then the Thorn, stuff like that. Where that's actually happening. I know that's happening, but they definitely need to add more of that. So that's just cool. Like I know, like a low hanging fruit one, because it's already in there, but they need to add more of that to keep the longevity of the game. Because right now in its current state, I mean, if they want to make a 10-year game right now, like it's not going to make 10 years if they continue to do what they're doing right now. Yeah. So in Destiny 2, I'm just expecting a lot more. So yeah, more quest lines, more exotic quest lines, stuff like that. I would say your idea is like, that idea would be like a 6 or 7. And the only reason I say that, because I have an idea that I think is better than that would make it more enticing to the collector. That's cool. So my idea was, what if they, instead of waiting for upgrades or anything, what if Bungie promised that every month that there was 1 to 3 new exotic weapons that were released that the collectors could add. So that year round, you had new content of new weapons that you wanted to get. How many months did you say for new exotics? Dude, like why couldn't they release 1 new exotic weapon a month? Why couldn't they do that? I don't know. Why? What would be the hindrance? Like, would you? Okay, so this exotic weapon, one new exotic weapon a month. I mean, I guess I'd be down with that idea. And like you had there's a quest that came along with it. There was a quest to get that new exotic weapon every month. Yeah, I'll be down with that. I mean, that would be freaking fun. But there would have to be like so many. I just couldn't imagine game. There'd have to be so many exotic weapons already in the game, and then like they add. I can see what you're saying. I see where you're going. I mean, 1 weapon a month. I mean, right now I kind of have an idea on that, the whole weapon thing a month. I mean, I'm just saying, like, with the multiple different types and everything from the collector's standpoint, I know that we've talked about this, where you virtually have every weapon possible. If they had a new awesome weapon that had a new Grimoire card that had like this bio and told you a little bit about the history and everything. Yeah. And then you tried to get that. And every month they released a new one that you had to do X, Y, and Z to get it. I mean, to me,
that would be awesome. I mean, that just that keeps on going.
Yeah.
Small leaks of, instead of every 5 or 6 months or for, every month giving you a little something, it works out better. It's a thing, in my opinion. So
yeah, I mean, that's like, I'll give that like, I'll need to hear more. So it's like a 5. So I'll give it like a 5.
God,
no, I'm not.
That's
because
a
I
great
kind of
idea.
No, that is a great idea. It is a great idea because I have something that goes.
5.
It's a decent idea.
Oh
it's a
my
decent,
God, he's
because
such a hater.
because exotics. I'm telling you, I just couldn't imagine if they said like they would do that, because I feel like they would release certain weapons, exotic weapons, in DLCs to make money. So it would be so ideal and it would be awesome. But could I see it happening just from like a business standpoint, where like let's make a weapon like the Thorn, and then we can give it to him for free on a free update next month or every month? From a business standpoint, I don't think that they would do that. Does that make sense?
That's fine. That's fine.
But to your point of waiting for new weapons and stuff like that every 5 to 6 months, one of my other ideas was that they can do like a Vanguard refresh or like a quartermaster refresh. So like when you're at the tower, when you go to like the factions, they have weapons. Vanguard people, they all have weapons. And it stays the same until the next DLC drop. So what if every 2 to 3 months they refreshed those same weapons, but with different roles on them? And then they add in like,
that's
what if they
totally
add in?
Cool. Yeah.
They add in like the weapon refresh, and then they gave you like maybe 1 or 2 new story quests, or maybe like storylines. Maybe they give you like 4 new story missions and a strike every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, something to Destiny tie 2. You into those clans more. Those what
factions?
They call factions. Mm-hmm. Factions. Yeah. So something to tie you and get you more in depth with those factions.
Yeah, it's even just like the quartermaster when you go to the Vanguard, he has weapons. There's so many weapons in the game, but it stays the same till the next DLC drop. So I mean,
absolutely,
I would be happy with that. Like I would be happy until like the next big content drop if they given us like story missions, like 3 or 4 new story missions every 2 or 3 months, or 2 months really. I really think it needs to be 2 months, and weapon refresh. Things like that. Like I said, Destiny 2 needs to be a game. It can't be the same. It can't be the current model. Yeah. So that's definitely what they
need. I'm not as hateful about things like you are. So I'm going to say your ideas. I'll say your ideas like a 8. I think that's, but I mean, it just, my wisdom with age is much more respectful.
No, whatever. I'm just saying from a business standpoint.
Joel. All right. So speaking of business, and what we're going to do, guys, just to let you know, so we have a lot of ideas, okay? And we know everyone works. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to go over one more idea each, and then we're going to pause, and we're going to record some additional stuff for next week. So we're going to break this into 2 parts. Might be 3 parts based on the amount of crap I wrote, and the arguments, you'll notice that the hostility just continues to increase to a higher level here. But my next one, to Joel's point about the business model of it, my next idea, how about this? How about Destiny and Bungie in particular? How about we stick to one financial model? Can we do that?
That's
Can
fair.
we do that? Okay,
I like that one.
Because we're talking like this game's been out for a couple years. I've had free updates. I've had paper items. I've had buy essentially almost a brand new game.
Yep.
I've had $30 add-ons.
Yep.
I've had pay so much money for silver to get new mines. When you do that, the average consumer, or I won't even say I'm the average consumer, because I don't think the average person's played 400 or 500 hours.
No.
To the person that is like, should I get back into it? They go out there and they see $2.99, $3.99, $29.99, $59.99. Oh, that's free. This is $3. Mm-hmm. It just comes across like you're being nickeled and dimed, like terrible. And it just feeds, it's like troll food. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, all the games I played in the time that Joel's played Destiny, even with all the add-ons and everything like that, Joel's made a wiser financial decision. Okay. I can guarantee this. All right. I've probably played 5 games that I paid $60 for each. And in the same time that I paid that much money for Destiny, Joel has spent, $60, $70, $80 add-ons and everything like that. I know that I paid way more money for my entertainment. I know he's got a better deal. He's got a better idea. But with Destiny, you get this situation where it's $29.95, but now we're going to do this. And this next time it's going to be, we're going to do free content next. But if you want to do this, yes, and it's terrible free content. And then you're like, this next update's $29.99. But if you want to do this, it's going to be, and we release these cool new emotes and you can get one basic one. But if you want the other ones, I just think that sends the wrong message. It almost like they're trying to operate as a free to play and a charge per add-on at the same time.
Yeah. I 100% agree. That's 10. That's a 10.
Right.
I don't like, as much as I like Sony and I'm a hardcore Sony player.
I love Sony.
I don't think that there should be ever exclusive content. I see why there's exclusive content. I do. But the fact that the Xbox players won't get to experience, the PlayStation exclusive weapons weren't that great. The Jade Rabbit is an awesome gun. But the fact that they won't get to experience that, that sucks as a gamer. That's whack. So that I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, and you don't. And I know we've talked about it, exclusive content, $3 add-ons. I want to do these deals. We've mocked the people that paid all that money for emotes. It's like you paid $15-$20 to do dance moves with your character. What the heck are you doing?
I remember when the game first came out and we liked all the dance moves, and I know we asked each other that. We're like, hey, would you pay so much money to buy new dance moves? I'm like, hell yes, I would.
Yes.
And now that they have it out, it's just I understand. But yeah, man,
it's a total impulse purchase. Yeah. It's an impulse.
Yeah.
Like when we said that. And even when we said that, I think we were thinking, truthfully, I was thinking would I pay $1 to do a new dance move?
Yeah.
I'd pay $1.
Yeah.
But, if you think about it from the relative standpoint, you got freaking Drake releasing this genius musical stuff that I pay $1 for, and I think I'm getting ripped off. I should download that for free. Everything. And Destiny, who already got you for $80, $90, says your hunter can do the Carlton, and I'm like, I'll pay $5 for that. Just the whole economic system of this generation. I'm like, what the heck are you doing?
Now, to Bungie's defense, you can get those things for free. You can get some of those things for free. All
of them?
Yeah, they can drop. They drop in the Nightfalls. Which is whack as hell that they drop in a content strike that's so freaking tough that can take you 25 minutes to play, and then at the end of the game you see you got the 2015 winter emote box.
Boring.
Joel had an absolutely brilliant last idea that got cut off, unfortunately, because once again we had some feedback issue. So here's the deal. We're going to be recording here a little later this week, and I'm just going to re-record that final part again, his final idea, because honestly I loved it so much. And I don't want anybody to miss out on it because I think it's really relevant and spot on, and honestly it ties in with a lot of my other great ideas that I'm proud of. So until next time, I just say Hendrix and Lou out, and I appreciate your feedback, and we'll talk again soon. Woo-hoo!